Hi, welcome to Season 2 of Poolside Chat. Today we're joined by Dan Henner, our superintendent, to talk about the return of free lunches, the new bus app, and what the future holds for the Liverpool mascot. Hi, I'm Kira Kipp.
And I'm Aries Kim.
We're your editors-in-chief, and today we're here on the first episode of Poolside Chat for the new school year. And today we're joined by Mr. Henner, our superintendent.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you on. How have you been? How's the beginning of the school year been for you?
School year is off to a great start. It's our second year of the new configurations with K-8, third year of the new configuration at the high school, having the freshmen in the main building. So the feedback is wonderful, and we're just really excited about having a great school year.
That's great. I'm glad it's been good for you. So let's just dive right in with the first question. I wanted to ask you about the district's decision to make lunch free again. Like, what went into that decision?
It's really a math formula. So it's the federal government oversees our food, our breakfast and lunch program. Mrs. Marchbanks is our director of food services for the district, and it came to our attention that they had changed, I guess, the parameters of how we could qualify for free meals for our students.
Mm-hmm.
And across the district, if your free and reduced rate for students is over 40%, each individual building can qualify. So you have to qualify every building. And with the new configurations of Education 2020, having larger zones with K2, 3, 5, and 6, 8, that actually helped us getting all of our schools to qualify for that meal program.
All right, well, that's great. I think it's a really good opportunity for the students to be able to, get their free lunches.
I know lunch used to be one of my favorite classes, so absolutely.
Moving forward, this year, the district introduced a new bus app that allows students to track when their bus arrives and what bus they need to take and where it will be. As an administrator, what went into that decision, like your thought process and rationale, like how can students use this app and it be helpful to them?
Well, it was really a listening process. Parents giving us feedback that how bus times work. Students for years telling us, especially at the winter time, it's cold at the bus stops. So it's really, using technology to our advantage. So whether your parents walking your children to a bus stop, parents waiting at a bus stop, or, in your cases, high school students, when it's maybe a little bit colder outside or rainy, you can look at the app and realize, okay, hey, the bus should be around the corner in 5 minutes. Gives you an opportunity to walk outside, but this way you're not waiting outside for 10 or 15 minutes because maybe there's a car accident on 57 and your bus is just sitting there. Your bus is just sitting there on 57 and you can wait in the comforts of your home versus wait outside in the rain or the snow or the weather and the elements. So it's really a customer service opportunity, and it's the first year, and we'll learn by it, and we'll take in a lot of feedback from parents and students, and hopefully we can make improvements and make the app even better for next year.
Great. That's especially pertinent because but some students have been raising concerns about maybe the pinpoint accuracy of the app, because it is something that has to be very timely, about maybe missing the bus by 5 minutes, or maybe the app notifying them. And as we keep using it, I'm sure it'll get better, but I'm glad you brought that up, that it's something that is developing and that the district is working on.
Absolutely. And when in doubt, we always anticipate, it's always a good job to show up for a meeting early. This morning I was supposed to be here at 7:30, but I got here well before 7:30. So it's always good to be, ahead of the game, and, whether you're 50 years old or you're 18 years old, junior, senior in high school, learning to get ahead of the game it's important for all of us.
All right, and then the next thing that I wanted to ask you about is, with CTE and the programs being in their second year, how do you think that it's going? What are things that you think are going well, and what are things you think could have improvements?
Well, what I think is going well is, I mean, I'm looking at your classmates right now film this episode, and I remember talking about this concept with your teachers a couple of years ago about having the opportunity to come in and being a part of the program. I know that Miss Laraca, your associate principal here at the high school, is doing an awful lot on creating authentic experiences for all of our CTE programs. Just watching everything grow, watching students have the opportunities to get out there in the field, while you're still in high school, really figuring out what you want to do, and is it a fit for you. Sometimes knowing what you don't want to do is more important knowing than what you do want to do, and being able to troubleshoot through all of those things while you're still in high school. I mean, that's valuable to me. I think it's valuable to our school district. But as far as the CTE programs, and the growth, this is the last year of this building here at Wetzel that you're in. And then we have a huge construction project. So, for next year, is the struggle worth it? We'll be hosting these programs in the main building for next year. The year after, this building is going to be state-of-the-art, brand new building for our CTE programs to hopefully grow and flourish even more. So we're just getting really close. We're a couple years away of being more and more incredible. But I'm confident our teachers will continue to grow our programs. Our high school administration will continue to support our teachers, support our students, and grow the programs no matter what classrooms we have over the next 2 years. But knowing that those brand new classrooms are just right around the corner, it's going to be an exciting time for our CTE programs.
Yeah, I know I've definitely taken a lot from this program, even though it's been in its first kind of trying out period, but I've definitely benefited a lot from it and enjoyed it a lot.
That's great. That's absolutely what we want it to be. We want you to enjoy school.
Excellent. So moving forward, last year the lifeguard spoke to you very briefly about our mascot, our school mascot, and potential changes to it. We also learned that recently you yourself and other administrators went to the Onondaga Nation's Peace Center up on the Parkway to have a discussion kind of about the Warrior iconography. Was that an eye-opening experience for you, and how has what you learned there impacted how you view our school's mascot?
That's a really good question. Yes, it was a real eye-opening experience for me, and I'm hoping it was an eye-opening experience for our whole administrative team to really understand the history of the Warrior. Even though for the last 20 years we've been Roman Warriors, understanding the history of where the district was, 20 years ago, and understanding their hundreds of years of history, with the indigenous people that lived here, that this was, their land, and we're fortunate enough to be here, but it was absolutely humbling. It was, to learn about, and I might be getting some of these words wrong, but their history of burying the warrior under the big white pine tree. And the stories that go along with that history, and the understanding of the peace that they want, and what the warrior represented in their history, of why they moved away from the warrior. It represents a challenge for us to figure out how we want to move away from the warrior with the state legislation. But finding a way to do that in a positive way is going to be really important to all of us. And respecting their history, along with respecting the history of the school district, it is going to be a challenging process.
Great. Yeah, it's definitely something that was of special interest to me. I think it's important to recognize the history behind it, and I'm glad to hear that it was something that challenged the administration and something that you guys are taking seriously moving forward.
Oh, absolutely. I think you'll see over the next few months the district putting out informational meetings and opportunities for the community and the student body to interact and be part of what could be a change process over the next few months and over the next couple of years. The state has given us guidelines that we need to make a change by June of 2025. So we have time, but that doesn't mean we should sit and do nothing. That means we need to be progressive and make slow movements and work with people and help people understand, why we need to make a change and what the options are for those changes.
Excellent. So all this official talk probably has to get a little bit tiring. As a superintendent, you're probably very busy, but when you get off work, what does relaxation mean for you? Like, what do you have planned, lined up?
Well, well, I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan, so with the exception of one of their home games, which I'm at a state conference representing the school district, so I will be missing the Miami Dolphins game, but I'll be doing important work for the school district, obviously. So, I mean, for me, this, my family comes first, and then the school district, and then those other things that we're talking about, whether it be the Buffalo Bills or playing cards or doing any of the things that I like to do with my friends. But as long as I put my family first, and then the school district second, I make time for the Buffalo Bills or watching college football on Saturdays. I'm a huge sports person, so I enjoy all of those things. But that's been me for an awfully long time. But it sounds, but it's weird how to say this, but I mean, I actually really do enjoy the school culture. So I go to a lot of field band events. On Saturday, I'll be going to the football game in Utica in the morning. I spend an awful lot of time going to our school events, but it's not really because I have to. It's because I really enjoy it. So what do I do when I'm not connected to school? Most of the time, I sleep. Because I really do eat and sleep this job, and it's not because I have to, it's because I really do enjoy it.
That's wonderful to hear from our administrator.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you this morning, Mr. Henry. Do you have anything else to add?
Matt, just thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy this. Like I said, that it was some of our visions. To have something like this when we started talking about having these CTE programs. So I'm looking forward to the school year, working with the two of you, and really talking about the progression of the school year and watching you grow in these positions. So, thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming on. No?
Oh, we didn't have a sign up.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, we can cut there anyway then.
All right.
Okay, cool. Yes, good job.
Yeah, that was great. I think you guys are great.
Thank
Round of applause, guys. Good job. First one out of the way.
Yeah.
Great. So you can cut if you didn't yet. You guys can obviously stop your recordings.